Hi, I'm Tim with Selfless Awakening, where I like to ground all of this spiritual, this self-help, this make yourself feel better stuff. This is day 9 of my 30 Days of Awakening series, where I'm waking up every morning and I'm going on live on Instagram right over here. So if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm doing a live Instagram. And also I'm posting that, I'm mostly talking into the camera, that I put the videos up on the YouTube account. So hello there to all of you. And so today I've got a fun topic here. People are still joining in, it looks like. The topic that I have for today that came to me in my meditation this morning was the topic of, hi Ethan, how you doing? Topic that I felt intuitively led to talk about today is the topic of signs from the universe. Are they real? Are we just making them up? This is part of that that side of mindfulness, spirituality, mysticism, where the empirical data, logical part of the mind might have a hard time with it. But I like to talk about it, and I like to talk about my take on signs from the universe and sort of my feelings on it, okay? So if you want to join in, feel free to leave some comments on your thoughts on it, okay? All right, so here we go. My take on signs from the universe. Here's what I do. I don't know if they're real or not. I don't know if it's true. I don't know about astrology. I don't know about if the universe communicates to us through coincidences. The truth is, my logical, intellectual mind doesn't know if signs come from the universe or not. However, the way I live my life is I do the experiment anyway. Because here's the thing. In my life, I would say that there has been a great sort of doubting energy in me in general as a human being. Like there's the naysayer, now this is bullshit part of me, you know? Like, and that's definitely a frequency that I can feel inside of my intellect. And it's that very part of my intellect that looks at astrology and is like, oh, come on. Like, how is that possibly going to affect this or that? Or looks at the idea of coincidences or signs. There's a part of me that's like, well, this is kind of bullshit. And my voice is the voice in my head. And I still do the experiment anyway. Like, here's a perfect example. I started doing this experiment of looking at of when sometimes I'll see an animal out of the blue that just keeps coming up. Like if I'm running and I see a particular type of animal, a part of my mind would start asking, what's the metaphysical significance of seeing so many hawks fly over you? Or one particular situation I've had recently was, oh hey Ron, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. We're talking about, are signs from the universe real or not today? That's the live talk. So I've been noticing a lot of cardinals in my life. Cardinals everywhere. Every time I meditate, I open my eyes, it's like, cardinal, cardinal. I'm running in the woods and I stop in time I show, I look up, cardinal. And I know there are cardinals around here, but they're not as common as a robin or other birds. And so I noticed, so I looked it up. I was like, I wonder what I was just curious. I wonder what the metaphysical significance is of cardinals when you see a lot of cardinals. And what it turned out it was it had to do with leadership, stepping into your leadership role. And I was like, yeah, that actually, okay, I can use that. Because for me, I'm so thankful I have such an expanding business. And one of the things with this business is that I just heard someone at the door. I don't think I need to answer it now. I think we're good. We'll leave it. No one's supposed to be coming at this time. So I noticed that I was seeing a lot of cardinals. And so what I've started to do is every time that I see cardinals, I think about how I could step more into my leadership role with the business. And And it's been really helpful, actually, because so much of what I'm doing right now has to do with playing the role that I have to play in this business. So it's been great. Every time I see a cardinal, I'm like, leadership, 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 which has been really a fun experiment. Is it true? Is it not true? Who cares? Do the experiment, because this isn't about, for me, this whole path, this mindfulness spiritual path, isn't about proving that something is true and making your mind, the logical, empirical part of your mind, proving that it's true to your mind and therefore then doing the experiment. That's not how I live this. I like to live this experiment like, do the experiment anyway, see how it affects you, see if it has any impact on your life experience, see if it has any impact on your perception, and then from there make your assessment as to whether you want to do it or not. And I can say my girlfriend, she is very into astrology, and she watches the Leo King. I don't know, have you guys heard of the Leo King? He's like a real, very big personality guy. He has quite an interesting personality construct, and he talks about astrology a lot. And every time that I'll say, "Wow, I've noticed a lot of people are going through some serious shit," like I'll talk about that with my girlfriend, she'll say, "Well, it's because the full moon is in Sagittarius and Mars is in retrograde in this," and there is that part of my mind that goes, "What? Really?" But then there's also, because I like to live my life from this idea of, I don't know what's true. I believe we understand so little with these minds of ours that for me to ever not do any experiment because of what I think my mind is telling me is really a closed-minded approach. And so I don't know about astrology at all. I mean, I know a little bit, I know that my sign is I'm on the cusp between Aries and Taurus, and that's called the power cusp. And if you're on the power cusp, you're supposed to be, I don't know, super powerful. So fine, I'll take that one. I'll align with that aspect of signs from the universe. But but truthfully, there is a part of my mind that does doubt it, that does have this doubt. And I don't care. Like, I don't care that I doubt it. I still experiment with it. And one of the biggest reasons is because, well, it's fun. Like, it's more of an enjoyable human experience for me to open my mind to the possibilities of experimenting with and trying out these things I don't understand, because it's through me having an open mind and experimenting and trying things I don't understand that I've come onto this path of some of the most incredible stuff that I do understand, which is, what some of the biggest things is, this understanding that I am not Tim, right? Tim exists inside of this field of awareness that I'm feeling right now, like this constant aware, nonstop. Well, I'll stop talking right now and I'm still going to feel it. That is the truth of who I am, this constant emptiness, this space that's aware. I don't even get that. I don't understand that with my mind. And that's okay. Like, I still experience it. I don't know if a cardinal shows up in my life because I need to learn about leadership, but I experiment with it. I don't know if all of these people going through all of this shit is because Mars is in retrograde, but I'll experiment with it. Sounds interesting. Why not? Like, that's the way I like to live my life. Is signs are something to be played with. And there's also a deeper element, I believe, to this too, like a really more grounded, let's get scientific about it for a minute, okay? Science has come to the place where it believes that we do create our perception of the world. This whole world is hallucinated from the neural pathways we've built to get to this point, the experiences we've had, the situations that we've downloaded. All of these things influence us on a neurological level, our perception. And there's a part of the brain called I believe it's called the reticulating activator, which is the part of the brain where, like if you're like, I want a red car, and then you drive down the road and all of a sudden now all you see are red cars. There's a part of your brain that does seek out things or notice things that you put on its radar. And so if you think about signs, like if you were to say, hey, I need to step into my leadership role, and then it turns out cardinals are a symbol of that, and they remind you of that, who's to say that's not real? Because the truth is, you are making your perception up of this world that you're seeing anyway. So it's like, by you seeing signs in the universe, it's as true to you as it needs to be, because this is your perception of the universe, right? So that's kind of my take on it, is that I like to live a life of experimentation with spiritual practices. I try them all out, and I won't close my mind to anything, you know. I don't close my mind to the possibility of the Pleiadians, indigo children, astrology, signs from the universe, coincidences from the universe. There's a part of my mind that could sit back and say, this is all bullshit, Tim, and you're just doing this to entertain yourself. And I don't care. That's fine with me. I would rather do the experiment anyway, because it's fun, and because I have to say truly also, the more I experiment with it, the more real it becomes. Like, this idea of, in particular in this way, you know, this idea of coincidences are trippy shit. Like, and it's really trippy that when you are in certain moods, you're in certain states of being, you're in certain vibrations, that it seems that coincidences are more and more common to happen. Like, go ahead and try to explain that, like, scientifically. It doesn't matter. I don't even need to understand. I just know that the openness to the world of signs gives me a more fulfilling life, and I'm going to keep playing with it. So there you go. If any of you have any signs, any ways that you listen to signs, let me know. But my encouragement, if you're out there and you're watching this and you're of an empirical mindset, you're of a skeptical mindset, maybe you're only watching my YouTube channels because I seem to be getting popular in the Wim Hof crowd. You know, if you're watching videos for that purpose, then I would say do the experiment. Completely let your mind judge the possibility of signs from the universe, and do the experiment anyway. Anytime you start seeing animals coming in your life, look up what the metaphysical significance might be. Stay open to coincidences. One other way that I like to listen to signs in my life is I like to live by this principle of following the path of least resistance. And if I'm trying to reach out to someone, or I feel like I'm trying to do anything and I notice that I'm kind of hitting a wall with the person, or it's just not flowing, I'm the kind of person that will step back and say, that's a sign from the universe. Don't push, let it flow. And I've got to say that one actual practical way of listening to the universe, signs from the universe, is one of the most powerful things I have to say that's been responsible for the rapid growth of the business that I get to tend to here in this human experience. Is I don't push anymore at all. And I used to push like crazy. I was the most push, go, drive, work harder. No, you're not working hard enough. Do it, go. I used to be like that. I'm not like that at all. I'll reach out to someone, and maybe I'll reach out again. If I don't hear, universe doesn't want. Like, I listen to that as a sign, and that's very powerful for me. So as far as the other stuff, I encourage play. We're here to play. This is an idea that I like to play with. And I don't know if this is true, and I don't care if it's true, but I play with it anyway. I like to live around the idea that we are consciousness on holiday in these human forms. That we are whatever this awareness thing is that seems to be awake and aware of the thoughts, aware of the body, aware of the universe. Whatever that consciousness is, it feels like it's here to experience life. experience human life. The same way the universal consciousness is experiencing growing a tree or a flower or small animals or planets, right? I feel that we're consciousness here on holiday, and we're here to experiment and play. We're here to wonder about astrology. We're here to wonder about aliens. We're here to wonder about astral planes and astral projecting and Pleiadians and all of that kind of stuff, right? So wonder, play, experiment with things that your doubting mind says they're bullshit. You know, if you're skeptical of astrology, if you're skeptical of mysticism, if you're skeptical of signs of the universe, do the experiment anyway. That's what I've done, and I'm telling you, it's worth it, okay? So there you go. All right, I got to take off now. Sending you all so much love and support. Now, my encouragement today, open your mind to signs. See what happens, all right? I'm going to post this video on the YouTube channel so you can watch it in high quality, or this will be up on Instagram on the live, so you can go back and hear my little, my take on listening to signs from the universe, okay? So that's day 9 for 30 Days of Awakening. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll let you guys know in the Insta story when I'll be on tomorrow, okay? So sending good vibes. Talk to you all soon. Cheers.